All right, recording is started for COSA 252, 26th of April, 2025. I'm going to close this and then bring over our web page, which has our site. We'll get to that in a second. Now, I'm not having any problems with my Citrix. I mean, it's absolutely working fine. And I'm not going to use Citrix today, but I encourage you, if you don't have Windows at home and for whatever reason you didn't set up Tableau at home or on your laptop, then yeah, by all means, uh, these virtual Citrix computers work just fine. In fact, that was sort of a concept that the school had, that we were trying to think of a way to let students have laptops. And of course, good, powerful laptops aren't cheap, and the ones that are cheap aren't good. And the cheapest ones you can get are those, what are they called? I think they're called Chrome laptops. But you don't really need a super powerful laptop if you can. Well, like for instance, I'm going to block that out. So even if I have a cheap laptop, if I'm connecting to a powerful computer online, all I need is a decent internet connection. And that's another question. So I'm just saying, absolutely. And remember, Prep Builder is different, and we're almost exclusively working with Tableau Desktop, not so much Prep Builder. I'll see if we have a chance to play around with that later, but it's not really a big part of the course, although the license works the same for both. Okay, let me pull out of this. I'm just going to disconnect. I'm not going to use it today. Uh, but it's certainly available for you to work with. So I'm actually going to close that, and then let's go back over here. So let's get some uh, housekeeping done first. We're going to look at the syllabus. And here we go. And I'm going to maximize that. I think we're in pretty good shape. I will mention this again. Yes, I had a couple of email messages that I did not get, although I think I have my settings right. And just to be safe, always send email to me directly. I know normally if you put a comment in your assignment, I should get that. And if you use the Canvas messaging system, I should get that. But I've had occasions in the past where I didn't get the message. So just fire me off an email. All right. Let's go down here all the way down to our calendar, because this is an 8-week class. It goes fast. So we're already here on the, let's give ourselves a nice graphic. We're already here on the 26th. So we're doing that today. Now, actually, we've already done these two. Those are done and submitted, and that's fine. What we're working on today is foundations of chart visualizations. That's what we'll do today, most likely. Well, actually, that's what we're doing today. So we're doing this today. And on the 3rd, we'll do common charts. And so I'm pretty sure I have the rest of these demos set up matching the weeks. This is the pace of the class is about right. Um, Professor uh, Liva will make some changes, I'm sure, in the fall, but it'll be very similar to this format because this is the base level curriculum that Tableau recommends for intro. This we'll work on later, but I'll introduce it a little bit today. This is something I haven't completely built yet, but I will. So today is all about, let me go back over here, foundations of chart visualizations. It's pretty simple, won't be difficult. A big thing that we're going to do is sort of discuss this concept of dimensions and measures, slicing the cube, as it were. So let me clear this out. So we're doing foundations of chart visualizations today, even though it says May 3rd. That's just the way that it works. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to go back to modules because that's makes sense. And we're going to double check to make sure that our recording from last week is right because we're in our third week. This is our third lecture. And let's take a look. Yep. And of course, that's an AI generated image. You don't normally see, well, it doesn't have three arms, but we'll double check and make sure this works. Okay, we are recording to the cloud for our
Wow.
second class, COSA 252, April 19th,
Mhm.
2025. And I'll be making copies and having them both ways. Oh, wait a minute. So I did it. Solved the incident. I got that set up. Okay. The video is working. It's on YouTube. It's published. It's got closed captioning. Everything looks great. That's from last week. All right, let's go back home again. We're just about ready. Now, I'm going to close this. We're going to close this. This first module is here. This is section 1, and configuring and setting up. There's the due date. That's the due date. Today we've got 2 items that are due tonight at midnight. I do have a couple of students that I'm not sure if they're going to make it. Almost everybody got these in. They're not hard to get. They're pretty easy to get. This one that we did, remember that one? That's due, I think, next week. Yeah, it's due next week. Okay, let's close this section up. We'll go to section 2. Now, foundations of chart visualizations. There's the assignment. And I'll demo it tonight and we'll turn it in 2 weeks. Yep, 2 weeks, no problem. That's what we'll do tonight. Next week, I'll do uh, common charts. And then the week after that, we're going to double up. I think we'll be able to do both sorting and grouping and calculations, I hope. And then the week after that, we'll do working with maps and adding customizations. You'll notice these aren't published yet. I will publish them. I have been publishing some things ahead of time. You don't have to do them. The due date is many weeks away, and you can certainly wait until I do the lecture and demonstrate each of these. So don't worry about that. And common charts, even though it's active, I'm going to do that next week. All right, this is the one we're doing today. But before we get into this, some of you asked for and received a link to Tableau Cloud. Now, let me mention that. Once you've got your account set up, this will be the login, and I'll explain. So it's going to ask for a username, and I believe once you log in, it's going to also ask for a URI. Now, our URI for our class is, and I'll draw this out right here, our URI for this class is COSA 252. That should get us in. Let me type it in and make sure. So let's do it. OSA 252, and I'll continue. Okay, so there's my password, my login. Hang on, there's one more thing. I'm gonna have to provide a multi-factor authentication. I'm not going to say for this site. So I'm going to use an authenticator. Of course, I've got an authenticator app on my cell phone, and I signed up for it. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Uh, all right, and that should verify me in, and I'm verified in. Now, once you're in, you can work with, now because I'm the administrator of the group, I can move around a little bit more than you can. But I can certainly go into the groups that we're working on, and I have the rights as a creator, and we're going to do something in a second. So I'm thinking, well, I want to create some stuff. This is some demo stuff that they've provided. So let's see if over here is a good place to start. I'm going to explore. And I want to maybe go into groups. I'm in a group. Oh, I better. I don't work a lot with Tableau Home, but personal space is there. Ah, here we go. Groups. So I want to go into this group. Now it's going to show me the users, and I'm not going to expand that, but that's my local group. So if I go into my personal space, I can work on stuff, create a new workbook, download material if I want to. But I think there's a way to download stuff. Let's go home. I think I can, I forget. There's a place for me to get it and download data. Ah, upload workbook or upload data, publish data sources, project. So I can do a lot of stuff. Uh, I'll go home, and then I'll go to personal space, and I'll say new, a workbook. That's fine. There's a draft workbook, and I'll rename it. I'll just say this is. I'll just say this is test college data. So that's my workbook. And I'll go in here and take a look. So obviously I'm going to need some data. I don't have any data. Where's my warehouse data? I need data source. So how am I going to get data? There's nothing here. Oh, cannot find the reference file. Replace it with another file. Sure. Drag and drop a file. That's what I want. Okay. So I can upload from my computer. However, I'm going to need some data. Let me give you an example, and some of you can work with this. I'm just going to say it right here. Let's go find something we can play with. I'm going to go to the Chancellor's Office Data Mart. Okay. This is teachers love this because we can get data. I'm going to click on that, and I want to keep it simple. So I'm just going to go down here and say FTES, that's the number of full-time equivalent students each college has. I'm going to keep it real simple. I'm not going to do much, but I'm going to save it as an Excel file in a second. But first, I'm going to pick, let's say, a college-wide search. And I want every college. And select term is fine. Or I can do an annual search. Let's take a look at what year I want. Okay, I want annual for 23-24. In fact, let's make it even cleaner because I don't want too much data. I just want for fall 2024. That's what we've got. That's our last semester. Now, I'm going to view the report because it gives you the data. Hey, there it is. Every college, call it college name and then non-credit or total. I like that. What I'm going to do is download it to Excel. So I'm going to say export to Excel. And I'll put it right here in downloads, and it's called FTES summary. I'll save that. Now, Once I've got data, remember, I can upload it to the cloud and work with it that way. I could also work with it locally. If I go take a look at this, let's take a look. I'll go to downloads and actually, let's do this. So let's pull this file right over here, FTES, right there. Let's double click on it and see what kind of data I have. I may need to clean it up. As a matter of fact, I most likely will, but I have a feeling the Tableau can clean this for me. Probably going to need, wow, I'm probably going to need, this is all for fall 2024. I'm gonna put in some data, college name. Uh-oh, I'm gonna enable editing. I'm gonna put in my data, college name right down here. College. Okay, I'm gonna be able to import that data, but I want to make a map. In other words, this is fine, and I can import this into Tableau, and I can get numbers, but I want another column. I want to add location data for each California college because I want to make a map. Well, how would I do that? I don't think there's any maps or locations or cities. I could, well, there's a couple of options. I don't like to say it, but I could maybe go over here and ask. Uh, I tell you what, we'll use our good buddy Edge because Edge might give me some AI to work with. Doesn't Edge is gonna not now, I'm gonna say provide 3-column table sh showing California Community College name, latitude, and longitude. See if it's going to give me latitude. Oh, it won't do it. Wow. Then I'll have to go to Chat GPT and force it to give it to me. I got a free account. I know I've got a free account. Introducing Chat GPT. So I'll log in. There we go. Get me in. Try it first. Next, next. No. How come I can't get in? I need to get in. It won't allow me to. Log in. There we go. I should have a password. Yeah, there we go. I'm in. So if I want to get data, sometimes it's easiest just to, and let's see if I can get it. I'm going to grab this. Okay. 3-column table with the following columns. California name, latitude, longitude. Let's see what happens. And there we go. And it's going to give me the latitude and longitude. I can plug that right into my system. Would you like a full list? Ah, I need a complete list. Well, I'm not sure. Hopefully it's going to be right. So now I can add that to my table. but I'm going to have to sort it so that it matches up. College name has to match with college name. And we may have to do some extra data cleaning. If you need this downloadable, or if you're interested in a map, please let me know. I can assist you further. Yes. Provide CSV file for this. Maybe it'll give me a file, maybe it won't do anything, but I can already scrape the data from the web page, so I've got it. Now we're going to continue. Looks like one of the columns had a length mismatch. Let me fix that up. Okay. Hey, there we go. So I'll download the file and I'll just put it right on the desktop. There we go. California Colleges CSV, save that. So there it is. So now I've got both. I can open that up and we'll take a look. Come on, open it up. Here we go. California. And I can sort this alphabetically, but what if you can bring both of them in? If I change the name, the same name as here and here, this is college. I don't even need any of these. I'll just delete these because I know it's already for fall 2024. So I've got college, and now I'm going to say, okay, I also have, I'm just going to call it college. College. All right, so I've got both of them. I'm going to close this. Save changes. Well, yeah, I want to save it. Save. And I'll close this. Save changes. Sure, save. So now that I've got my data, I want to go back to my workbook. Definitely need to upload. Can I drag these right in? Nice. An Excel file can't be replaced by a text file. Okay, I'll upload a file. So let me cancel that. I need to worksheet unavailable, locate file. I need data. So let's go to data. I need to upload. Edit data source filters, data source. I need to get data. Warehouse data. Oh, come on, edit data source. Where are we? Can't find. Yes, I want you to do that. So I'm going to upload for the computer. So first of all file types. This is the first one. Open. We've got that one. Okay.
Sorry.
So I'm going to have to upload it again. I don't want
You
to
done eating?
publish it yet.
You're done eating? Yeah. Get your towel from off of the back of the door. Let's get you.
Okay. And I'll have to add the other file and then start bringing them together. So data, new data source. Okay, let's get this other file. Files, let me upload the other file from the computer, which was, I think, this one. All right. Okay, let's close it. So let's take a look. I've got these things going on. I'm going to have to figure out how to put them together. My data sources, well, and that's where I'm going to leave you. I'll do a better demo, but I think I've got almost everything I need. Now, I think we're pretty good. This is one table. I need to add another table, but I can't. Okay, you want the file? This one? It just took me a second to make. Yeah, I can give that to you if you want it. Anybody else want it? You can have it too. I'll put it up later. So you can work with these locally as well, but I'll put it to the cloud later. I'm going to actually get out of this. We're sort of done messing around with it right now, but that's the kind of thing. And you can use that data to make a map and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to close that. We're going to close my cloud. I'll close the data mart. I'll close Chat GPT. They did their job. And we'll go all the way back. I'm going to close my cloud space. We'll go all the way back to our assignment because we need to get work on that today. It won't take long. This is pretty simple. I encourage you to experiment. I think I've given you a hint on the kind of stuff you can do. Now, there's a lot more data sets out there. Why would I mention the college data mart? Because you're college students, at least you understand some of the information, credit, non-credit. Now, you're not experts in that, but if you work in a field that you're comfortable with, what the industry does, and you know what kind of information they deal with, then I would suggest finding information related to that industry or a hobby. If you're a gamer and you know about games, and even we did the Pokemon one, start out with data that you're comfortable with so you know what it's supposed to look like. At the end of the semester, maybe at the end of the semester, I'm going to be building an extra assignment, and it's going to be like the last week, and it's going to be very similar to what I just showed you. Very similar. And I'll look and see. I won't ask you to grab everything. I'll find the files I need, and then I'll put it in. So I gave these to you just for fun. You can play with them, but for today's assignment, you don't need it. I provide everything that you need. All right, let me go over here to view as student, and we'll get this started. I'm going to run this in 2 panels. The assignment that we're doing today and the one that you want to see is over here in section 2, and it is foundations of chart visualization. And I'm going to show you what we're doing today. Now, when we start Tableau, they have, and this is our assignment right here, this is the big assignment. When we work with Tableau, they have some example data, and there is a sample superstore based on that. And let me actually open this up. I'll go to Tableau. There's Tableau Desktop. So let me explain. If you just start out, and I'm going to do it this way, you'll notice that they actually have some little experimental files down here that they always use for their lessons. And I'm going to use the sample superstore. So you can go and grab that directly. But let me explain what happens. If you go and grab that directly, sample superstores, it'll already open up. It's got a workbook ready to go. And look at the data source over here. It's already pulled in all 3 of the tables. Oh, okay. It's already pulled these in. So that's one way to start. And then you'll just start with this first worksheet. But there's another way. So I'm going to go undo, 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 and I'm going to clear everything out. There's my data sources. Instead of sample, I'm going to go get the file. So let me double check and make sure I've got it. Downloads, sample superstore. There it is. Sample superstore is right there. I want to delete it so that we can work with it. So remember, before we even get here, I've given you the option. So if you download my file, right there, I'm going to download it. If you download my file, and I'll download it to the desktop, it is the sample superstore Excel file. Wow. What's going on with that? It's this right here, sample superstore. And if you double click on it, it's kind of already ready to go. I'll double click on it and show you what the original raw data is. Wow. It's pretty standard stuff. Order ID, order date, ship date. it's a real clean table, but it's got 3 sheets. It's got the orders table, the people table, and the returns table. What's been returned? So there's 3 sheets. There's 3 tables. Yeah, okay, I'll close that. We don't need to mess with it. So in that case, since I've got it, I'm going to, instead of using the sample superstore, I'm going to actually go and open up the original. So I'll go Microsoft Excel. I'll go to, where's my desktop? I don't know where my desktop is. Desktop, there it is. Excel workbooks. I don't know what, no, it's community college. Let me go all the way down here to desktop. There we go. Sample Superstore. I just downloaded the file. It's even an older Excel 97 file, but I'll open it up. So if you do it this way, you're going to have to do the following. And let me show you. I even showed you. You're probably going to have to drag these tables over. Orders and people and returns, and the relationship gets created automatically. Okay, I'll do that. So first I'll drag over orders. All right. And then I'll drag over people, and it already found a relationship. And when we were doing that state of California stuff, I'm going to make sure that that'll work for us too. And we're going to drag over returns. Okay. And that's kind of where we're at. Now that we've got this set, we can actually start our assignment. The first thing I want you to do is create a worksheet or rename the worksheet because it always starts with one. So let's go over here to sheet number 1. Remember, it's already got all the data. I'm going to rename it to explore the data. That's fine. And explore the data's up here. If you want to mess with it, you can change the size of the title. I'll make it like 24 and bold and center. I mean, I can do anything I want. That's not important. As long as you have the title up there that matches with what it wants you to use, we're fine. Hey, nice. So there's my sheet title. Now we're going to talk about some of this stuff over here. Now I'm going to collapse and expand it, but I'm also going to bring this over. So remember, we had 3 tables. If you look at the data source, we had these 3 tables. And these 3 tables are highlighted here, here, and here. And now you're going to notice something. Measure names and latitude and longitude and measure values. Some of this Tableau picked up. It was generated. And you'll notice latitude and longitude can be used. But let's open up orders first. And you'll notice how the data is listed. And now you'll see a little bar right here. And right below it, you have these types of things. This is an important distinction. And I kind of want to bring it up. When we deal with Tableau and you start moving stuff around, some stuff that you move around, when you move it up here, some stuff is going to have a blue pill and some stuff is going to have a green pill. Now, can anybody tell me which one represents dimensions and which one represents measures? I'll tell you. It's also a dimension and a measure. For instance, profit would be a measure, hopefully. City maybe would be a dimension. Oh, what are you talking about? Well, when you're talking about data, and I sort of mentioned this before, when you're talking about data and working with this kind of environment, and Power BI does the same thing, they really want to talk about data in two different ways. So some of the data is dimensions. That means they're discrete views that stand for a certain category of things. A dimension like city. Now, you're either in one city or the other. You're not halfway in one city and halfway in another. So it's a dimension. It's clearly defined. And now there's another type of value that's called a measure. Now, a measure is normally a numerical value that it's quite the range. I mean, normally it's, from 0 to whatever, from 0 to 100, but you can be like in between stuff. You can have any value. Can you switch between them? Yes, you can. It depends. But just remember, dimensions and measures are important concepts because when we're playing around with Tableau or Power BI, it's important to think about what data you're going to use as a dimension and what data you're going to use as a measure. And you absolutely can switch in certain cases if it's uh, called for and if your data supports it. And here's what I want to bring up, and I've talked about this before. Let's pretend that we're working with a Rubik's Cube. It's a data cube, and I've got dimensions like all of these dimensions right here are, this will be the cities. There's all kinds of cities here. There's LA, there's San Francisco, there's New York, there's Boston, there's, uh, you know, Atlanta. So I've got these measures and they're along this one side of a cube. Now, wait, LA will also have different, like, statistics on crime or income. And so all those measures will be over here. Oh, okay. For each city. Okay, now we have two dimensions. Where's the third dimension come in? Well, I might have a third dimension on region. So when you start dealing with data in Tableau or Power BI, you're really sometimes doing stuff like switching around a Rubik's Cube to see things in different ways. And that's a good way to, in general, think about it. Let me clear this out. I just wanted to mention that. Let's go and start our instructions for this. So the first thing that they're going to ask you to do, they're going to say, here we go. Let me go up here. So we did this. We're set. We have explore the data. Now, I want you to change the sort order of the data to data, sort by data source right there. Data source, yes. I'm going to go all the way up here on top and I'm going to say, I want you to sort by data source order. Okay. Now it's change the order and you can do it depending upon what kind of data that you want to work with. Look at my choices. I can sort by name. Oh, that's within table, I'm sorting by name. Oh, okay. Within table. And let's see if it works for all three tables. Yep. Let's see if it works for, there's not that much stuff in the other tables. My order table is the big one. And if I want to change my sort order, I can group by folder if I want. But right now I'm grouping by data source table and I'm going to sort by data source order. Okay. Does that make any sense? Data source order, order that was found in the table. It's just a demo to show you how to work with it. The dimensions and measures are separated on the data pane by a horizontal line. Yes, there's the horizontal line right there. Dimensions and measures. Normally, your dimensions, that means discrete values. It's like you either have an order date on one day or an order date on another day. You either are in one state or another. You're not sort of in between. But with these kind of values, sales, quantity, discount, profit, you're normally, and these are measures, these are normally like sort of a continuous value, and you're looking at it that way. Just remember, dimensions and measures are a big term that's used in Tableau. Okay, let's take a look. First one is this one. I think what are we calling it? Explore the data. So I want you to locate and click on the dimension ship mode. We're going to take a look at the data type for shipping mode. Really? Sure. We're going to see. Now remember, they said dimensions, so I know it's up here on the top. There's ship mode, and you can see it's listed as ABC. That means it's just a text data type. You can add a whole lot. You can even convert it to a measure if you need it. You can change the data type, change the default, everything. And each one of these things has quite a few options. We're not going to change it. We're going to, yeah, it shows that. So we're going to drag it to the column shelf. And this is a dimension, right? Column. Okay, we're going to drag this to the column. Now, you don't have to always put dimensions in columns and measures in rows. That's not important, although Tableau likes to have tables that are narrower than wide. So let's go over here and get ship mode, I think. Well, let me double check. I want to make sure I got that right. Ship mode, and yeah, ship mode goes to the column shelf, and here's my shelf up here. So let's drag ship mode up to the column shelf, and it's listed as blue. It's a dimension. All right. Right now, there's nothing much going on because even though it's a dimension, it's just. Now, let me stop here. I want to talk to you. This doesn't make a lot of sense because why? Because you haven't fitted the size, and I want you to fit entire width. Okay, that just makes it easier. So you can see what's going on. There's 4 types of shipping modes. First class, same day, second class, and standard. Now, I know that that was in the table and it showed up a bunch of times, but we're putting it into column and we're going to treat it as a dimension. And now there's 4 different categories. We're going to put profit, which is a measure, into. They want you to look at the profit, and they just want you to understand that you have a lot of different things you can do, change the data type or make it a geographic role or grouping. But we're just going to drag this over to the rows shelf. Let's go grab profit. There's my measure, and I'll drag it to rows. It'll automatically sum because I told it, look, I have a shipping mode that I'm using as a dimension. Therefore, any profit that fits underneath, any profit that fits under that classification, just sum it. I could have average if I wanted, but I'm using sum. So it automatically sort of figured that out. That's fine. Now, once we've got that set up, a bar chart's created. You can certainly play around with the different types of charts by going to show me what kind of charts. They recommend this chart. For horizontal bars, try 0 or more dimensions and 1 or more measure, and we've got one of each. What about a pie chart? Will that look nice? Well, you can click on it, but remember, when you click on a new chart, it goes back to standard size, so you can fit it. All right, that's okay. It's nothing special. How about down here? Will that make any sense? Yeah, maybe. It kind of looks good, but let's keep it standard. We'll go back to just regular. Oh, I don't want those bars. I just want a normal bar. How about that? No, I lost my bars. What happened? If you lost your bars, then go to the back, 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 back button, and it'll get you back in. That's what it showed, and it made a graph that way. That's pretty much it. That's sort of the basics. Open the Show Me tab, other available site, and cycle through. Okay. Now they talk about when you add fields, they are assigned an icon based on the data type. Tableau tries to figure it out. They're colored green or blue based on the type of data. Normally, continuous fields are numeric, discrete fields are normally not. We're going to do these steps, and let's take a look at these steps. 1, 2, 3. First of all, we're going to create a whole new sheet. Don't get rid of the old one. It's going to be called DC values. And we're going to put ship mode in the columns and profit in the rows. Okay, a new sheet right down here next to explore the data. And I'm going to right click and rename it. And I'm just going to put in the name DC values. All right. Ship mode goes to the column shelf. There's shipping mode now. All right. Ship mode goes to the columns. All right. And profit is going to go to the rows. Let's go to profit. Did we do that before? Shipping mode, profit goes to the rows. So far, so good. Now, once a dimension has been added, it turns blue or green because you've got to work with it that way. If you say shipping mode is going to be my columns, then it's going to say, hey, well, profit has got to be collected underneath those dimensions, and that's what it does. I'm going to do entire view. That's fine. Now, I'm going to change the profit one, and they mention it right here. We already did these three. Okay, profits goes to rows. Now, once a dimension has been added, turns blue or green, that's true. I'm going to right click on profit, and I'm going to change the data type from continuous to discrete on profit. Really? Yep. Watch what happens. I'm going to change the data type to discrete, and look what it's going to do. It's going to treat each value of profit, yeah, like that. In other words, profit is this much for shipping mode same day. And the ABC is just a placeholder. It's basically Tableau is saying, well, you've chosen to create a chart type. You've chosen to create a table, so we're just going to put placeholders. The profit for first class is this. The profit for shipping mode is this. You changed it. That's what it looks like when you change to discrete. So sometimes that's necessary, but they're basically explaining why. And it changed to a cross tab table, a cross table. All right. We're going to keep that. That's fine because they explain you can change from continuous to discrete. I want you to create a new one called DC dates. This is just the basics of playing around with charts. We're gonna copy that. Let's create a new one right next to it over here. right click and rename and put in the DC dates. All right. And let's follow the instructions. Drag the date field, ship date, under the orders table to the columns shelf, profit to rows. Ship date to quarters, profit to rows. We'll do the same thing. So where is ship date? Right there. Ship date to columns. Then down here, we'll grab profit, bring it over here to rows. Now I'm going to change standard to entire view again. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And they're going to bring up some stuff. And you'll notice right now, ship date is listed by year because the type of data that it's mentioned right here is it's got a little calendar next to it. That means it is considered by Tableau to be a date type field. Well, if you expand this little cross, hey, it's going to show quarters. Nice. If you expand this cross, it'll show months. It's kind of a mess. You expand this cross, it'll show days. And I don't want that. So I'm going to click on minus all. I'm going to wait a minute. Let's go back. I'm going to click on minus and bring it back to year. And that's fine. But you can certainly expand these and bring them out. You can also do this. Now watch. Right now I have told it I want you to show me year, and it's given you just one big continuous sort of pattern here. But you can change the way that this is displayed. Now you'll notice there's two date areas. There's this one, year, and down here below, this gives you a slightly different look. Now look at the bottom, year of ship date. Let me change it again. And we'll go up here, and it just shows these. Yeah, it's just one continuous line. And if I go back down here and say, well, I want years to be displayed this way. Got it. So I'm just saying you can play with those. And you can even go all the way down here to a quarter, and that way it doesn't show it in separate little tables. Now, uh, they mention this and they show you how to do it. And they showed you to change it from one type of discrete to continuous, and we just changed it back and forth, so you can certainly do that if needed. After changing the date type, the field will change to a green color. Wait a minute, really? Sure, watch. Right now, my date is continuous. But if I go back here to quarter, oh, it changes to blue because it's giving me discrete groupings. Okay, got it. And if you want to expand that out, it'll even go further. Click on the minus key. Let's see what they want. I think they want us to leave it to year, and I'll leave it for year. We'll go back over here, and I think we're going to go down here and leave it to year. That's fine. You want to show labels, you can do that as well. Let's see if we have to do any. Reopen the menu, change the continuous date to months. Okay. I think we're going to do months. Locate the second round, click the minus icon. Yeah, we did it. We're going to go to months for continuous. So let's go down here and check months. Oh, nice, really nice. If you want the line to be longer, you can certainly make the line a little bigger. That's no problem. You can make changes over here in the marks card. All right. So we did these steps for this one. We changed the date type. That's fine. Change the continuous date to months. So we're fine. Now let's go to the next one. I've got another one. It's called Axis and Label. Rename it Axis and Labels. So I'll just copy that. We've got a couple of other features to work with. Remember, I've still got this one and this one and this one. Let me go make a new one, and I'll right click on it and rename it, paste it in. Okay. Now I'm going to drag the order date to the column shelf. Okay. Order date to the column shelf and order or profit to the row shelf. Let's go grab profit. Okay, so far. Yeah. And I'm going to change my width to entire view. Now, I want to see a little bit more data. Remember, I'm going to drag the profit measure over to the labels mark. There's my mark. So I'm going to grab profit right here. I'm going to drag it over to my label mark because I want to show, I want to show my labels. It's absolutely what I want to show. I can change the text and the line of all this stuff if I want, but that's my label. I can make the text bigger if I need it to. A little bit bigger, maybe. I don't know. I like it 12 and I want it to be a nice purple color. I can change anything that I want. So that's, let me make the line a little bit bigger too. I want the line a little bit bigger. So I'll make that a little bit nicer. There we are. Looks good to me. So we were working with dimension of year. Profit is summed over here. What if you were to change dimension, year dimension to year continuous? No problem there. What if you were to change year continuous to quarter continuous? And the data labels will go right along with that as well. So you can work with that. We can change the appearance. That was pretty much it. Right click on one of the values to always show, for instance. We're going to do this. So let's say I don't want these labels. So I'm going to take the labels away. I'm just going to drag them out, get rid of them. But I want to show the labels. So I'm going to right click right here and I'm going to go to mark label, always show it. If that's the only one I want, I can do that. And they mentioned on how to work with that. Double click on the profit axis, edit axis, cycle through the different options. Okay, we'll show you. We're just about done. Here's my profit axis. I'll double click on it. So I can certainly work with different tick marks. There's automatic tick marks or general. This is the same kind of stuff you'd see in Excel, except it's a little bit nicer. Axis title, profit. Yeah, it's okay. You can certainly do it. Now, for my title, I think I'll do this. Gonna make it bigger, 24. I'll center it, make it bold. Okay, that looks good. All right. I'll do the same thing to DC dates. I'll double click on DC dates and highlight it and make it a little bit bigger. 24 in bold, and I'll center it. Yeah, nice. Oh, I didn't center it. Let me center it. There we go. And then we'll go to DC values. That wasn't looking very good. I'll clean that up. Highlight it first and then, well, make it 24 in bold and center. Oh, I'll pick out a dumb looking one. Let's go to that one. Pretty bad. All right. And explore the data is already set. So I've got all 4 of my worksheets. Now, we played around with that. We're getting a little bit more comfortable with it. You know what? Let me show you this. You see these 4 worksheets right here? And I'm not even happy with them. I don't like the way they look. You could submit all 4 if you wanted, or you could just submit a dashboard. So I'm going to do it either way. I'm going to do this. I'll do it both ways, but you can give it to me either way. All right, teacher, what do you want? Here we go. Let me go all the way up to the top, and I'll say start my assignment. All right, so I've got to put something in here. There's two different ways of doing it. First of all, you can actually insert a table. And I just need 4. That's all I need. Yeah, all right. But if I get a table like that, that means I need a screenshot of each one of these. Can I make a screenshot? Well, you can kind of make a screenshot. There we go. A nice little one. So I could get a screenshot, 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 and screenshot. You know, all right, I guess. Where's my snipping tool? Can I clean this up a little bit? Yeah, you can clean it up a little. You can get 4 different screenshots. Okay, I'll do it. Where's my snipping tool? Snipping tool. I'll do my snip and we'll grab a new snip and I'll say, okay, that's my first snip and I'll copy that. Okay, now that I got my snip, I guess I can paste it inside this table. Oh, that's too big. That's huge. I'm going to have to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. There. Okay, that's okay. What about my next snip? Well, your next snip will be, wait a minute, which was that? Was that axis and labels? I guess I'll do DC dates and I'll do a new snip on that. It's kind of a bother. All right, I'll copy that snip and put it in. I'll stick it in over here. Right click and paste. It'll resize, don't worry. Yeah, okay. Now I've got to do one more. Let me see. I have axis and labels, DC dates, and now I need the DC values. Wow, this is getting to be kind of a problem. Well, there's an easier way. Why don't I show you an easier way to do it? So I'll do it this way. Let's go over here and stick this in, paste. So I've almost got all 4 of them in. Don't worry, it'll sort of reset it. So I've got one more to go. So let me go over here and explore the data, and then I'll grab a new screenshot. And teacher, this is a lot of work. Now that I've got this data, I can go over here and paste it in my last one. Paste. Oh, that looks great. Now, let me show you an easier way to do it to submit the work. Hey, what happened? There we go. So, and that's fine, which shows, actually, that one's kind of dumb. There we go. I can make that a little bit bigger. But there's another way. So let me explain. I'm going to say, hey, forget that. I'm going to delete the table. I don't even want that. Is there an easier way? Yes, there is. Let me show you. Why don't we do this? I'm going to go all the way over, not to a new worksheet, but to a new dashboard. I want a new dashboard. And I'm not going to save it. I just want it so that I can do my homework assignment. Well, here we go. First one, right there. Nice. Second one, DC values. I'll put it over here on this side. Nice. Third one, DC dates, and I'll put it down here. And the fourth one, access and labels, I'll put it down here. Oh, perfect. So why don't I just copy that? Yeah, you can copy that. Well, that'll make it a lot easier. There. Got them, all 4. Now, you don't have to make them exactly the same design. You can make them your own design, and you can change the colors a little bit, as long as you've got these basic 4 with the data. So if I do that, then can I just put it in that way? Yes, absolutely you can. And if you even want to see edit, undo, I'll just say teacher, give me my points, and then I'll paste it right below the text. Now, I'm going to mention something. And don't worry, I'll show you in a second. So that looks right to me, but I had a student in another class, a programming class, and instead of typing the data in, they were just submitting pictures of their screen, which is allowed. Problem is, he didn't go back and check, and his pictures weren't showing up. And I took away points. So I'm going to submit this assignment. Now, let's say you've submitted the image and you feel really confident. What should you do? Go back in to submission details and make sure, yeah, it shows up. Perfect. I don't know if I'll get that or not, but we'll try. All right, I'll save it and I'll resubmit it. And it's there, right? It better be. I'll double check again. Submission details. Yeah, leave page. I want to see my details. Yep, it's there. Perfect. I don't have to resubmit it. I'm done. Let's go back home. We're set. And so take your time, play around with that. Yes, at the end of the semester, my my thought is going to be to either do the California Community College Data Mart exercise or something similar. Uh, Using Chat GPT to get a table created is either something that I'll ask you to do, most likely I'll demonstrate it and then make that same table available. It'll have latitude and longitude, and I think Tableau will see those values and they will know exactly how to interpret them. And so we can make a state map, for instance. I'll tell you what, I'm going to close the recording for today because I don't want to overload it. But before I do that, let me mention, let's just pretend, and I've got all this stuff. This is my book. I'm going to say, I want to go all the way out here. I want to get rid of all that. I don't need orders or returns or anything. I want to go all the way back because I want to add some new data sources. Let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back home. So I'm going to add some files, and I've got the files. Connect to a file. Well, these are the ones that I want. Uh, let's go to desktop. Better go to desktop. I should have them both. Where is my desktop? There it is. FTES summary. I thought I had both files there. Oh, wait a minute. It's not an Excel file. Let me grab this one. That's an Excel file. I'll open that up. So we've got that. It's just got sheet one and it's got all the data called college. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to get some more data. Let me open up a text file. And there it is, CSV. I'll open that. Now I need to add, what do I need to do? I've got California Community Colleges. Can I add another one? Microsoft Excel file. I'll have to add both. Okay, so now we got them both. So first of all, from I'm going to bring the sheet over. Let's see if it's going to make a connection. I think it does. College to college. I'll use data interpreter. All right. So it does have a relationship between college to college one. I'm going to change this though. I need to change that data. Let's go take a look at this. I'm going to rename it to just lowercase college. Okay. Now we've got the data. I'm going to start to work with it. I'm going to create a new dashboard. Let's go to a new dashboard over here. And I'm going to call it, rename it CCC FTES. We'll see what happens. I need to take a look. So obviously I need my college name, ABC College. We're going to put that, I think, in rows, but it is discrete. That's fine. Now, in college, I want credit FTES. So far, so good. I don't want, do I want some? Yeah, that's fine. The problem is, what is it showing me right here? It's not showing me a lot. Guess I better work on that data a little bit. Some isn't going to work for me. Should I do this? Nope, not going to work either. I'm going to have to work on this. So what if I move college up here and then some down here? Yeah, not happy with it. Not going to work for me. Going to have to change some to continuous. All right. So I've got some issues I'm going to have to work through if I look at these. In fact, I want to put some back up here on top and college down below. Yeah, we have too many nulls. My data's messed up. I'm going to have to go take a look at this. And if I start using latitude and longitude, I can bring these in. I'm pretty sure I can. Latitude, longitude. Yep. I'm going to have to do some work on it. It's not working for me. I'll do total FDS. That's fine. No, I have to clean my data up. I'm going to definitely have to go back and get this cleaned. Well, we'll figure it out. I'll close it for now. I'm just saying that's the sort of thing we have to work on. All right. I'm going to turn off the recording and then it'll come up about another hour. We'll get it set up. Let's go to stop recording. And for those of you that watch on video, we'll see you next time.